And I'm back. Okay. Earlier I was dry brushing the paint rack, and I'm testing the fit. I'm going to be assembling it. The rack itself has very few parts. There's basically a bottom shelf. You can see it actually has a spot down there for the bottles to sit into, and then a top portion of the shelf. As noted in the instructions, there are a short side and a full-size side to the top racks, is it? No, it's the bottom racks, my bad. It's been a long day already, just getting the video up and running. The bottom racks will have a side that actually comes all the way up to the tab. That is like right here. And there's a short side where you can look closely at it. You'll actually see that it's inset. Those are meant to always go forward on the rack. They're always going to go towards the front. So when you're looking at your rack and you have it this way, this is the front. So I'm going to go ahead and get started with some of these here. And still working on the video quality. That's going to take a little while still. I've already checked these, pre-sanded, stained, and finished them. So they should actually just drop right in. And so on and so forth. Like so. And now, if you're doing a single, in other words, a single width rack that holds 30 pieces, this is where you'd put your end cap on, or your right riser. If you notice, there's no holes that go all the way through. In my case, I'm actually making a pretty big rack. I have a series going up to about 120, in which case I'll be using, in between the different sets of shelves, I'll actually be using the center. You can tell the difference between all three just by looking. There's holes that actually run all the way through versus the other ones don't. So it's just a matter of lining these up. And let's flip this little guy over here and do it this way. I've done this a couple of times already because I couldn't wait to start putting this together, and it's easier just to kind of line the tabs up with it like this. Tolerances for the printing is good enough so that you should be able to manipulate it without the shelves all coming apart. That'll be dependent on your setup. That'll be dependent on your printer though, and what settings you opt to use. That one's in, that one's in, that one's in. It'll take a little bit of wiggling to get it going. And this thing's beefy enough, you typically don't have to worry so much about breaking anything as you're putting this stuff together. It just, you're going to see here, my tolerances are actually tight enough it's going to give me a little bit of grief, but that's why I don't mind doing this live, because you're going to encounter the same exact things. And I sanded these and tested these earlier, so everything should be on the level for putting this all together. There we go. For most people, it's probably not a good idea to have coffee while you're doing this either. There we go. Get a healthy little snap going there. I think I missed one. Yep, I sure did. That's why that's not going in. That's easy enough to fix though. You'll encounter this yourself. Get my file here. Oh, let's see, where did I put them? The trials and tribulations of going live. I shifted everything in my studio here earlier today so I could stream and forgot where I put my files. They're here. See what we got going on here. Maybe I can coherce it into going in here first. There we go. I think the reason that didn't go together was because I had that shelf flipped around. I could see it. Yep. That's what it was. I knew I filed and sanded these earlier. Get my chat up so you folks can talk to me. There it is. Get my chat up so. Sorry for the delay, folks. Okay. But there will be those of you out there that will encounter the same exact thing that I just did here. Double check and recheck. If you look really close at the shelves, you can tell that there is a definite shorter side to it. I just wasn't watching that close on one of the shelves when I put it in. There we go. That's in. Now, flip this little guy over. Like I said, when I designed this, I made sure that my tolerances were really, really tight. I wanted to be sure that there wasn't going to be any sloppiness in it. I kind of indirectly approached this like woodwork. I wanted everything to fit nice and snug. A little bit of manipulation and it'll go. That's in, and that one's almost in. Just take and squeeze that together a little bit. And there we go. Now, being that this is a center riser and it has a hole all the way through it, the next set of shelves will continue. And as you can see in the instructions, as well as all the photos on the website, I've got different types of shelves. There's an open rack system for the weird paint pots out there like Citadel and things like that. You can mix and match. There's examples in the instructions as well as on the website too. So at this point we're going to go through and just put our tops in. The tops do not have a front and back, so you can pretty much just drop them into place. And they just snap right down. Now, when I designed this, each of the shelves has three different variations, texture variations. So if you look really, really close, you can tell that there are different textures. I wanted it to look as handcrafted as possible. That's kind of one of my design points that I set up for myself there. And there we go. That drops right into place. And the last one, oops, I'll put that one towards the front. And it drops right into place. All that's left, these are not painted yet. They're only primed. I'm going to be doing those a little bit later tonight. But the rest of assembly goes, you have caps that fit over the ends, like so. Now all these pieces are glued into place, and a glue that I recommend is from a company called IPS. It's IPS 16. Printer filaments, specifically PLA, works very well with this. Instead of just like epoxy or super glue, this creates a weld. In other words, it actually welds the pieces together, so you actually have a solid, sturdy connection when it dries. So I'm not gluing this right this moment. Just for the video, I'm actually going through and actually showing you how this is assembled, so on and so forth. Like so. And I strongly recommend, I've put one of these together already, the prototype. Go ahead and test fit everything. Put the whole rack together first before you do this. And then you'll be sure that everything's going to fit, because especially with the IPS glue, you do not want to stop halfway through and have to pull something apart, because you probably won't get it apart. The other parts in question, I'm going to take these back off of here. You'll notice when you get your parts, I've got a couple bags here already set aside. I'm shipping a demo out to a fellow streamer. Depending on your rack configuration that you're putting together, there's 4 sizes of these, and there's basically end caps. The same end caps work for one end or the other. You just turn them around. There's also on the back side of the rack these guys. These guys slide right into place, like so. Grab another one here. Slides into place like so. And let me find one. Let's see if you'll notice on the camera, there's definitely 2 different sizes of the corner pieces, or the end caps. The shorter ones go to the back, like so. And As with any of these, you might have to sand them a little bit. You might have to file them a little bit, and a lot of it's going to be based on your printer. There we go. Once they're in place, you can see they fit right in. Just paint them up exactly the way you painted the rest of your setup. Now, in the event of continuing making a larger rack like what I'm doing with mine here, let me find just one of my tops here. We'll just take a top and we'll slide a top in here. This is how you continue your rack. And for right now, we're just gonna sneak him in the other side here. And just kind of set him right on top there. There we go. And there are two sizes of flats. Let me find one of my shorter ones here too. It's one of the long ones. Oh, you guys got lucky. I didn't paint my flats for the back. The flats for the back actually cover in the back side here, and the longer ones slide right down in between. Paint it up, glue them in place, and once you've done, you've got, or once you get it all glued up and put together, you've got yourself a solid rack to work with. A little later, I'll do a display video that shows my rack setup all finished up with all the paints in it. But that's it, folks. That's where we're at with that. Okay. After I'm finished streaming the video here, I'm going to open the store up. The rack is finished. It is for sale. Currently, it's $24.99. Again, for the people that just might be coming in late, this is a printable, 3D printable modders paint rack. It's for decking out your workbench with the awesome swag. I made this to match the D1 Dungeon Series tile set that'll be going up on Kickstarter within the next month. Stop on our studio website. I'll put the link in the comments of the video after I'm done streaming as well. Sign up and pick it up, or if not, just poke around and have some fun on the site. That's what I did it for. Yeah, that's it. Anyways, folks, that's it for this stream. I'm gonna shut the stream down. I'm gonna open the store up, double check for about the 4th or 5th time today that everything is functional. Then I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna put my rack together because I have a ton of paints that I need to organize. They've been sitting in boxes. They've been sitting in everything but a rack. And it's starting to drive me a little bit crazy. I've been working on this for a little over a month now. And I'm happy and ecstatic, actually, to get it going. I hope you guys enjoy it. The people that decide to purchase it from time to time, don't hold me to this. I may release sets as gifts. I may add, well, originally the design for this rack was initially only going to be a perk for the Kickstarter people at the upper end of the tiers. And then I decided, you know, there's going to be a lot of people that may miss out on the Kickstarter or may not even be interested in the tile set, but would like to have the rack. So I figured, why not? I'll release it to the public, set it priced moderately for the amount of work that I put into this, and considering the pricing of the racks that are out there, which one of the main reasons I decided to make this rack and make it a cool rack was because of what's currently available. There's not much out there, and I'm really not pleased with how the stuff looks. I'm a guy that's all about looks. Either way, you will see me again. If there's any problems with the website, or if there's any problems with the video, hints, comments, criticism, any of that, it's all welcomed. This is my beginning stream, so I'm kind of still learning some of this. Any input is appreciated. And again, thank you very much.